Good morning, YouTube. I hope you guys are well. It is Wednesday morning right now. We're in my third week of load. I train in a 3-week load rhythm, 1 week easy. So it's the final sprint. Let's have a look what today has to offer. Back in the garden chair as every morning. So it's Wednesday morning right now. We just yesterday finished my first out of 2 proper key sessions of the week. Also the last week, as I said, third load week. So we are really still have to be patient to really make this week clean, consistent as we did the other 2 weeks before as well. So this day, to be honest, is all about really coming down of this hype phase a bit, because yesterday was a challenging day. Yesterday video, if you want to check it out, we had a VO2 run. It's also a good day to reflect, to be honest, because yesterday I hit some PBs for me. So we did the VO2 run, 6 times 5 minutes on a treadmill, 15K total. The first 3 we kind of stayed patient. It was probably more around this threshold range, but we accumulated some load. So that we did at 3 times 5 minutes, 320 pace, so 520 mile. And threshold heart rate, we were still under actually in the last rep of those 3. And then I felt, okay, we're actually doing really well here. Effort is good. Everything is trending good. We're halfway into the set. That is also the time when you kind of allow yourself to, if the legs are good, to progress. If you're not, you would stay there. And then I progressed to 3 times 5 minutes, 309 pace. And that is 5 minute mile. And if you saw last week's video, the last rep, I chickened out 2 times. I just couldn't hack it mentally. Not the leg wise, wasn't a leg burn, but just the heart and lungs, the oxygen, how it's working, this VO2 range. If you run this 180, 185 heart rate, also mentally on the treadmill. So I had to jump off twice, although I promised myself, as I said in the video, I would have to fly out the back. But I needed 2-3 seconds. If you lose seconds, literally a second focus, you're like, oh, instant panic, and it's interesting. But I'm super proud of myself. It was amazing. So that, and then also the 5K swim, which wasn't super easy either. But then in the evening, the VO2 bike, again, all in aero position. In total, 20 minutes load in aero position at 420 watts. And definitely the legs were kind of really working, glycogen depletion, all those things, just muscular wise. But you would think, you're gonna be sore for 3 days or something. They are feeling pretty good this morning. So of course, today I'm tired, so it's important to calm down this hype, really absorb it. That's what the next 2 days are all about. Because then on Friday, in 3 days time, it's another intensity day. But now it's all about low heart rate. Today, what we got planned is a 4.3K swim. Got some drills in there, some activations, there's some aerobic stuff in there, for sure. Then we're gonna for sure hit the cold water plunge. Minimum 3 rounds. It's like 3 degrees water. I go until here, not more. I alternated with 36 Celsius, so like a warm water thing, and then finish sauna. That will be gold for recovery. Afternoon, we have a 2-hour ride, and 90 minutes of that will be at the LT1 range, which is the low end, really, the 270 watts. It's not too taxing, especially after 420 watts yesterday. All in aero position, for sure. There are actually some changes from my mentor. I got some lactate strips coming. 50 lactate strips, which set me back 160 euros, 170 euros. Super cheap. Yeah. So I'm just gonna use those in doses, but my mentor says in some doses makes sense to do it. I executed, no doubt. So I made some notes already once they're there when to do that. And then we got an easy 5K run off the bike after that. And that'll be the day. Bit self-massage in the evening, neck stretches. I have this checklist here that I always go through in the evening. This is my Training Peaks, what I have here. And that will be my Wednesday. I'm just prepping my sport nutrition for the swim. Still really key to fuel. What I really like to do, I mix the Umaro Sport. My favorite is elderflower. That's the taste one, but I also get a neutral one, that's actually pretty important, because if you do higher concentrates, I mean 60, 80, no problem. You can do it all with the flour, with a taste one. But if you take higher concentrates, I mean, you don't have to if you like the sweet, but of course, if you take 150 grams of this, you're gonna have a lot of taste in there, which might be too much. So what I do is actually going to be taking 60 grams here. I'll just do it half sometimes. When I have 150 grams, for example, of the in one bottle, which is no issue to get down. In the past with other, just sometimes the concentrates, I really had to be careful. I really had issues sometimes, just like with this acidic base. But here, I could drink 150 grams of this in a sport drink. I could gulp it down in one go, and I would have no issues, which is pretty damn good if you do long distance Ironman, where energy availability is everything. So 60 grams of this, and then I gotta make my shake as well, as always. We can just do it together. So where do we get here? Water. Actually ran out of berries. The good old Finnish berries. I only got the red ones here. I need to get blueberries. Fresh Finnish berries, 100% magic. Just some fresh vitamins in there. And I put some oats in there. Some quick oats though, because if you take some other oat stuff, the ones you have to cook and stuff, that might actually be something with fiber for the gut, even for me as well. But with these ones, you have to try some stuff. But if you get the quick oats, you know, the ones that are like 1 minute or whatever, this is the same Pika, it's the same in Finnish. Then it shouldn't be an issue at all. So we got water, we got oats, we need the banana in there for carbs. Ooh, last banana, we gotta go shopping. Then we got oat milk, so banana, bam. This is my recovery shake for after the swim. I take, everybody knows it, that there's the window of 20-30 minutes after a session where the body is like a sponge and kind of loves it if you have quick digestible carbs and protein. So really easy hack. I don't know how much it helps, but I just always do it now and I back sessions up. So I'm not gonna change stuff that probably works and is proven to work. So I just do all of it consistently and they all add up for sure. So then we got some peanut butter in there. This is not enough though, so I take a big spoonful. This is empty. Some healthy fats. Also with peanut butter, if you're, make sure you know what you buy and what's in there. There could be all kinds of weird oils and massive amount of salts in there. So buy the cleanest one, even if it's $2 more or something, €2 more or dollars, buy that one. You want to make sure that it's high quality. Most important, protein. I still got here the triple chocolate protein one, which is 22 grams of protein. If you saw yesterday videos, I got a new one with actually, I can show you, chocolate and vanilla. I thought I'll give the vanilla a go. I also like that. This has 33 grams of carbs in there. A bit less protein, 15 grams. So I have to account for that. It's 7 grams different, but it has to be somewhere else. So I have my protein daily. Maybe have an egg more or something a day. But 33 grams of carbs extra, more carbs straight in after the session, can only be good. So only leads to more performance consistently. So especially if it's in this form like it's this one, body just soaks it up real quick, right? So that's perfect. Now we're just gonna mix this up. So with training cangs, actually, in order for me to replicate what I got here, a lot has to be right, from like, you know, sleeping arrangements to mixer, all of it. I mean, if I do a longer training camp, that's gonna be expensive because it needs to all go with. I'm not gonna compromise the main thing that made it work in a 2 week. We go for a 10-day Nice training camp, so I look forward to that. For that radius, I'm not gonna, be crazy about that, but I need to get a mixer somehow. Not gonna change that. Boom. Right, all mixed up. Then, because it's actually quite a bit of liquid, as you can see, you need some kind of container that half decently carries this. The small protein ones are actually too small. So I got this one here, Wet White Boozy, Texas import, yeehaw. That is actually a good size, but as you see, it's not exactly super proof. So if I would travel anywhere, I would actually tape it shut. Not highly professional, but this, as you can see, is a big old boozy, so it fits quite a bit, which does the job. Sometimes I don't quite make it. Do I make it now? Ooh, surgical today. Sometimes I have to drink the rest. So if you are, working, of course everybody is, and most of you will have a session after your actual work. Some make it in the morning as well, but also with triathlon, a lot of you guys will also train twice a week and twice a day. Even if not, most will probably choose the afternoon, evening time. And after work, you're kind of going out of the work mode and you're a bit tired and all that. So it's really important that, because if you go on the couch and shut down and then go from the couch back up to training, the amount of willpower it takes is probably 3 times. So sets you up for making it all just more hassle. So one tip, which I always did when I worked, is just plan your snacks and meals. So let's say you finish at 5 p.m., 6 p.m., whatever, let's say 5 p.m. so that at 1.5 hours earlier, you have a snack that you have energy when you come out of work. Because if you feel like, I'm hungry, I gotta have dinner, and then you have a snack, everything is a hassle and it's just everything much harder than it should be. So something, of course, if you're working, it's not always like you can sit down, have a meal, a break. Something could be a shake, it could be literally just an easy sandwich, it could be, one banana is probably not enough, it's just a bit of carbs, but some carbs, some protein, quick digestible, something you can train, let's say 1.5, 2 hours after without problem. And then you're not actually hungry, then you have the immediate time, you can get your training in, 1.5 hours, whatever, and then you can have your dinner and shut off. Also planning wise, like I said, don't go, I actually avoided home at all costs, because home is connected to peace and relaxation. So if you mix those and then you want to go out of the relaxation mode back, if you hit the couch after work, I gotta just, unless you have a nap and usually shut the eyes for 15 minutes, that's probably a good idea. But then it's gonna be, like I said, you're in relaxation mode after work, 10 times harder to get going again. So I recommend just straight after work, you're still in the online mode, you're still in a go mode. If you fueled well, like I said, the 1.5 hours before with a snack, just get going straight to the session, either head to the pool, straight to the run, or you come home, don't even look at the couch, just drop your stuff, everything laid out before, let's say your bike clothes, your nutrition's already there, everything as little resistance as possible. Just takes minimal of planning the night before, or if you have a run the next morning, you just lay your kit out. Small things like that make all the difference when you wake up. Even let's say you have an early morning, you can fill up the filter coffee thing here, this one, and just put water in already. So you just have to wake up in the morning, you have little resistance as possible. You just get up, click the coffee machine, just have a timer that okay, I get up at this time, I have 15 minutes for myself, I just chill, relax, don't start it wake up and go. That's the disaster. Don't do that ever. No matter how little time you have in the morning, always plan time peaceful in the morning. The more busy your life, I said it before, the more you need to plan in. I had the privilege to work with some mentors there in Switzerland that worked, the highest of business anyways, top 10 Forbes list, one guy, and the other one had also 1,000 employees. The more busier the day was, they had always 12-hour days, high stress, high everything. Of course, they slept horribly, all of them. That's the price for the leadership. You're not gonna sleep. You sleep, no matter what your bank account says, I'm not gonna sleep. Good night. But that's the price for it. Anyways, different topic. But the thing is, you need the morning, they needed the morning, they took 90 minutes, minimum 1 hour, although they're 12-hour days. If they didn't have this anchor in the day, which is the morning, they would not make it through the day. So it's really peaceful as well. No matter how busy your life gets with whatever you got going on with family or whatever, like I said, the more busy, the more you need that morning. Okay, if your child wakes up at 6 a.m. or 5 a.m., too bad, you gotta wake up at 4:30, so you got that slot. You got that slot for yourself, to center yourself with I do always reading. I write in a journal what I'm grateful for, what my things for the day are, something when I feel like, for example, today you're tired, you need to have a big nap, anything that's important, or like, then I actually go back to the day before and I tick off. It's really satisfying. If you did something or if I didn't do it, then I do a cross and it's like, I should have done that. Let's do better the next day. So it's really short accountability and you can make yourself better this way. So plan a morning slot, really, that's the biggest one I could recommend. I only figured it out later. And don't say you have time, even if it's 15 minutes minimum. You need that time for yourself. You can't wake up and be of service to other people right away. Then you lose your soul, you lose yourself completely too. You need that center for yourself, even with kids, especially with kids or busy work. The more busy your life. If you're a triathlete, you're training for 3 sports and you got a job, that is already a massive achievement and a massive task. Just because more people do it doesn't make it any easier. It's extremely difficult. So you need to take care of yourself, of your mental health, of your centering. Otherwise, you will burn out like a candle and you will not achieve your goals. So all part of it. Let's go. That was a really nice swim. Wow, 4.3K. Felt so good to flush all this stuff from yesterday out, all these waste products you create through intensity. It really helps to swim. Oh, it feels amazing. And like I said yesterday, actually the pool, I felt a bit tired. Also when I, because I was in the gym, right? And I said, yeah, with the core, you can do all these many reps. So good news is, it's definitely the right exercise for me because I got sore as hell. Day 1 was sore, but day 2, these deep abs, really low, like above the pelvis, the ones that actually tilt the pelvis like back in swimming, they got sore. So sore that when you sneeze, you feel them. When you're just lifting up your upper body, I felt it a lot. So perfect. Maybe 3 times 100 reps, not the right way to go right now. 3 times 20 made me plenty sore, and I did half reps as well, so it actually stays aligned with the core. But we're gonna keep those in because they, for example, already helped me with swimming. One drill I do is with fins on the back, and you lift the arms, and you have to hold the core, right? And with that one I struggled for sure. And now, although I'm sore, I could feel a way better alignment. So 100% the right wheel. And actually another breakthrough that we had today. Big breakthrough that's going to shave seconds off my threshold, 100%, because what we talked about two days ago, that I have this, I had the shoulder accident. It's too mobile. You can see it if I do this, and here, I probably hard to see. Either way, left shoulder is too flexible, overhead especially. So what we started doing in the gym is with weight overhead press up. That's good. Snow angels with the weight, also fine and dandy. But in the water, because what happens is, if you have a good swim coach, he will find one clue that fixes 3 things. That's why you can have super unproportional progress in swimming versus, let's say, cycling. If in 3 months' time you improve your threshold by 20, 30 watts, that's good, right? That's good. But in swimming, you can shave 10 seconds, 15 seconds off your threshold if you have the awareness, get the right clue, and you can actually execute it. So what for me now changed everything, and they have to find the fine line, because that's what they say, the swimmers, it's 100th of a second that the front end, for example, that you glide. What happened to me is, and also when I started swimming, had 145 threshold, I was what Swim Smooth labeled the overglider. So too long, and when I saw the video from the 1500 meter race, this old guy was back. This old guy's swim technique is still in me. I fell straight back through the old rhythm. So what happens is when you overglide, so first you you glide too long, obviously, so you have a pause in the stroke, you inhale too long, and then your feet do something weird to kind of trying to balance this whole thing so you don't tip over, and that's just horrific. That's like alignment death here, right? Alignment in the water. So super happy that I fixed that now, and that is gonna be the art now, that I basically when I'm in front here and in water and I grab the water just this touch quicker, changes everything. The whole core, the leg, the kicks, the breathing, that I don't breathe too long. That's why it's so tricky, right? That's why a lot of people struggle, and I highly recommend to get a snorkel. That is probably the number 1 tip I wish I knew from the beginning, because I got stuck in with pedals and pull buoy, and to be honest, that will not make you better if you're a beginner swimmer. It will really not. It's good for hip rotation. You think you're getting stronger, but all it teaches you is to just push the water hard down in the front. And it's, put the pedals away and pull buoy. Do you swim actually faster over 400 and 200? Yes, no? Probably no. So I'm working on that now. I'm gonna check with my swim coach as well to fix that. So I have some quicker pull, and that fixes that I don't have such a long breath as well, and that also fixes my kick thing, that I don't like tilt in, fall in with the pelvis. That's that. Excited for it. But today we need a big session in the Bacta tank, and that is coming up after lunch. So it's Wednesday afternoon now, and this is the slot where we pay the price for what we did yesterday, meaning intensity training. This is definitely it. So latest after you had a nap on the day after, you're getting really tired, and also like motivation low, all the signs of that you good training, that you had good challenging training or something physically demanding the day before. So you're kind of paying the price for that. Important is when you have for example, I have that every week. It's like a hangover, so to say. And it's important you go through that. It's important I don't fight it with caffeine or even mentally. Like if you have something coming at you and you have the feelings of low motivation, low something, instead of immediately going like a toddler, going with those emotions and feeling them and blah, 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 you can kind of decide not to feel it. You can just say, okay, these are the thoughts coming in. They're kind of like, oh, blah, blah, like you're complaining and just tired body. And then I'm like, why is that? All right, yesterday we did fantastic training. Your body is right now rebuilding. It's doing all the things to absorb the amazing stimulus. This is how it works with sports, right? You give a stimulus for growth, and then you adapt. There's a phase where you're tired and you're kind of going through it, and that is now. And then I'm only thinking, like, what can I do physically to assist my body as much as possible? Okay, you got to sleep. All right, hydration. I got some sparkling water, which has some minerals in as well. Then also for the mind, I gotta, it's anyways, this job or profession is 365, 24 hours around the clock, if you want to do it to the highest level. So you have to accept that anyways, right? So I could either say, okay, let's get this bike done and do the run. But either way, it's a full day either way. So what I do now, okay, just gonna take some, what I got in the supermarket as well is orange juice, which is for vitamins and extra carbs, because one big part is calories. You gotta give the body the building pieces that it can go through this, and one of them is calories. So I also got some cake actually in this case. I feel like I needed it, so I got some. And I'll have that, and caffeine-free coffee, because no caffeine, as I said, you want to allow it to go through that phase. And then I'm going to chill a bit, read a bit, really be a bit zen, and then in half an hour, 45 minutes, I'm ready for the bike ride, where I'm going to see you again. Again, the bike ride is super low taxation, not mentally, because it's 2-hour bike ride indoors and you're tired, so you don't want to, right? But it's probably even better at this state to be indoors than outdoors, because reaction time is probably slower with cars and all this. So even if I would go outside, I wouldn't do it now. It's not a good idea. So just gonna be here riding, and then an easy run, and all low taxation, cake first. All right, we're ready to go. I took on purpose, I could have done 60 grams each. It's 2-hour ride. I could have done, I can also do it with 0 carbs, but that's not the idea about sport nutrition. That's only half the idea for racing, that you perform during. But especially because I was obviously tired today, I put 80, so it helps me for tomorrow especially. So I'll look forward to it. And I also smashed almost the whole cake. It's kind of like a dough thing, and I feel 100% better. So calories was the right guess, and I read a bit book from Chris McCormack, about triathlon if you want to have a read. Pretty good one. So I read it before, so I took it out again. If you want some triathlon reading, I'm Here to Win from Chris McCormack. All about this Ironman Hawaii on general triathlon bubble. Quite interesting. So just to recap, this is a 2-hour ride with 15-minute easy warm-up, going with through the zones, and then a 90-minute LT1, but really like the low range, 270 watts. Gonna be all in aero position, shouldn't be hard. Heart rate is not gonna be high, shouldn't be mentally or anything taxing. So yeah, we'll do that. Gonna watch something else outside of triathlon, because as I said, my mind is still a bit tired even with the cake, but it's a lot better after calories. So I got also, it's always good to know as well, I got the sports nutrition here, which is just gonna make you feel better as well, which does help on these days. So I'm gonna be having a little warm up, and then I check in after 45 minutes of the 90 minutes LT1. There we are, halfway there. No magic happening here. Neither is motivation, but like I said, that's okay. No high heart rate, 127, and in general, low taxation. So just gonna grind this out until 90 minutes, and then it's 15-minute cooldown, and that was it. Then we jump on the run, easy jog. All right, last seconds. There, done. Now just the last bit of spin down. Easy peasy. Yeah, it's interesting. When the mind and body is tired, the mind easily wants to play tricks on you. It did on me now. It knows resistance can get you when you're tired. That's why it's so important. Just a brief slip. I just looked at something, compared it to myself, and resistance got me right away. It's like, this person, the ego, you know? Without my ego, of course I need it, competitive sports, but today when I'm tired, I definitely don't need it, because it's not coming at me to help me, it's coming at me to distract me from my journey. So I just had a 1500 meter swim, something comparison, and just, it's a fine line. I mean, there's also always truth in some things. For example, when you look at the 1500 meter race, I had a pretty strong breakdown of pace. And when you look at that, okay, why is that, right? Yes, there could be training fatigue, could be, for sure. But I think it's more that I haven't done extensive threshold sets yet. I think the idea is I'll check that, I actually peak in June. So you don't peak too early, so the extensive threshold sets are still to come. I haven't done any classic threshold sets, which you need for a 1500 meter race. And then you look at the 200 meter race, where I didn't go too hard in the first 50, because already last year I could do 20 times 50 meters in 30 seconds. That was not the issue. I did that with a much worse stroke than I have now, leaving on 1 minute. So that's also not the deal. But swimming is so tricky. You need these different rhythms. And it's really like putting a gear into the car, because there's several different styles, right? The aero style, this boat style, the windmill style, the horse style, this kind of gallop. And to be honest, I kind of dropped the gallop a bit, but that was the one that I always felt, and that's where I won the triathlon last year and had the best swim, and I led the overall swim by 2-3 minutes with this gallop style in open water, because I feel like I can produce power. So I think for 100, 200 meter, I need to go back there. For like smooth, zone 2 stuff, I can do this aero style, this smooth thing. So it's just all about the rhythm. And when I think back even the race, there wasn't really a clear rhythm. There's just it's cool. That's why I have to use this pain and then switch it into something. Okay, what is it trying to tell me? Maybe even if people criticize you, there might be still some truth in it. So if you stop the self-loathing and this BS that the mind is trying to drag you into, which doesn't help you at all to improve, you cut that part out, there's power in there. So good. All right, I got 12 more minutes and then we do an easy jog. Welcome to the defining moments. I could just as easily say, I don't want to do this. Like, it's literally always a 1 second decision, right? That's why I put this damn mat here. I'm tired. I have the run I can always do, it's not the thing. But like these small things, and it's a 1 second decision. Like I said, I'm going to do a warm-up routine before every single run. Like best possible run mechanics. Could just easily skip it, right? But what I said before, those are the moments when you're under, because physically it makes no difference to me if I do this. It doesn't make any more fatigue levels. It's not like a irrational decision, let's cut this out because, you know, it's better because you're tired. No. This is only resistance in the mind. So like, let's clock this out together. It takes me a few seconds, a few minutes literally. And then I do the other stuff outside. But because it's mainly about the mind. Because when you do triathlon, you're literally setting yourself up for a challenge, right? And the finish time doesn't tell the story. It doesn't tell if you quit or not. Most people never talk with anybody about it that they actually quit in the moment it got hard. And the reason where you can train those are those moments, for example, that when the mind is tired, you can still make a conscious decision. No, we stick to this plan, although we don't want to right now. Like I said, there's no negative drawback to doing this. It's not like shortening a session when it makes sense or something like that. Not at all. I have very good programming now. That's not the thing. This is only mental. So if you have a stretching session in your plan, a core session in your plan, and you don't do it, it's always mental. And you think, your brain, it's those 1 second decisions. When your brain tells you, you don't need it, it's okay, just skip it. It's very bad when you do this. Very bad. Nothing to do with the actual training session. Zero physiological effect. Only mind. You allowed yourself an out. And now you're training your brain. Your brain will find more ways to get you to find more outs. Next time it's going to work again. It knows, we got him last time. Or him or her. We got her last time. Or we're going to get it with this angle. We can get that person then. So it goes in all areas of your life. Anything, if you're working towards something, might be studying, might be whatever it is. Like if you set this goal, you can't allow yourself to out. All right, let's crank this out. Oh, this is still so sore. Crazy. There's 20 of those. It's just short reps, holding tension. 10. It's just about the tension. All right, then this one. I'm sore as hell. $15. Now the rotation. All right, this is that. Oh, those 2 times 10. Now try to keep the core flat. It's all about core and hips. That's where strong running comes from. If you listen to Mo Farah, which I think you should know what he's talking about. Like triangles. And now the side planks, especially I don't do the full. It's just from the actual low back. It's just a little activation. Just try to keep this so that I don't rotate. There, that wasn't so bad. So now I get dressed, do some stuff on the way down. I beat the mind, beat resistance once again. Always trying to get you, always, all of us. And it's gonna find all the angles. Because of this, you shouldn't do it. Because of this, endless. It will find all the angles to get you, to stop you from going where you wanna go. Don't listen to it. There, easy jog. Here we go. The goal is of the session, run 5 kilometers and make it feel easy. I just started and I can feel my legs. I for sure a bit of work from yesterday, which was the idea, so if it wouldn't be, I did something horribly wrong. So it's all about getting steps in. You still get some small muscular tendon adaptations, even with 5K easy. And it adds up, 80K weeks in and out on the volume side. Yeah, that's a question for August. I might go up to 90, but until then we stay 80. All right, let's jog this out, have some fun, and I see you at the end of the run. I'm clocking out the final meters here. And yeah, legs feel good, springy, but keeping it super light and super slow. Because tomorrow, get an LT1 run with some hill strides and a 90-minute easy ride and gym. That's tomorrow on the menu. But one final thing, when you're on social media or in general, might be also in your circle, when you're changing and when you're the one that is kind of a dreamer, visionary, then you will have people, might even be your family, might be your friends, might be at school, might be at work. They do not want you to change. You have to realize that, because it reminds them of what they should do, and they don't want that. Right? For example, I had one thing happening, and it was like, yeah, but that's unrealistic. That's unrealistic to do this, to think like that. Right? They're trying to drag you back in. They're trying to pull you back. Realistic is the word of doom for anybody that wants to, have something outside the ordinary. The realistic minds, that's why in sports you got 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th place. That's for the realistic minds, right? Because there's nothing realistic about becoming Olympic champion, about becoming world champion. That's by default. You have to be unrealistic to even consider going there. And if you don't put it in your mind that you're gonna go there, guess what? You will never be number one, because you failed at step number 1. But again, that's why in sports there's the podium and has one spot on top, and not everybody can get there, no matter how physical. So if the baseline you already don't think correctly, it does not matter how you train. It doesn't matter. So I finished my 5K run now, almost 200 meters. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.